Chapter 1. When it comes to identifying a person based on he, she can be an angel or devil, most of the people come up with answer that they think of themselves. Some think of themselves as angels, and some as devil. But what would happen if you are allowed to choose that, whether you want to be in the side of angel or devil? There was a village once known for its unusual rumors, and a story about it, according to it. Before a long time there was a village which consisted both God and devil worshippers in it. After some time, when the next generations came, their parents couldn't force them to worship the God or devil, because worshipping should come from their own free will, not by force. That is when the both God and devil appeared in the village together, and they said that they would give a gift to the people of this village. The gift was that when the people of the village turned mature regardless of age, an angel and demon would appear in front of them, which would help them choose the devil or angel and worship them. But there were some condition. For choosing you will have only 1 year, and after choosing whether God or devil, you can return to being a human. While the devil and the angel try to help you choose one of them, you cannot choose staying a human. After listening to the conditions, the people said yes without even thinking twice, because in their thoughts, standing in front of the actual God and devil was more than any other thing. When the next generation started to become a bit mature, as they both said, an angel and a devil came in front of every person who was ready to choose between good and evil. According to that, the people chose who they wanted to worship. But after some time of worshiping, some thought that they should change to worshiping the other God or devil. When some of them tried to change to the other side, they died, and after several tries to turn to the other side, the God and devil once again appeared due to the calling of the villagers. When the question was asked that why the villagers called them here, the villagers said that the new generation is almost at its extent because of the intention to shift their worship. They both said yes. So what do you want to know? The villagers said, why are they died? They didn't even break the conditions that you said. When the God and devil heard about this, they laughed and said, remember our conditions, in that we said clearly that you cannot choose staying human. The villagers' minds went blank, and only one person asked that how did they turn human or even choose being human. The devil said, when a person chooses to worship one of us, he has to become completely one of our child. If you choose God, you turn to angel, and if you choose me, the devil, you have to become a demon. But trying to change is the thoughts of a normal human, not the one who has become a worshipper. The villagers were all tangled and couldn't get anything in mind at first, but after some time, when they understood what the God and devil said, they understood. But even after that, when generations continued, the people started to die. Either way. The villagers and the chief, the village at that time thought of a plan and called the God and devil. When they came, the village chief asked that how can we end the cycle of all these deaths? The God said, why do you want to end this? Your parents started it for reason, right? What happened to you now? The village chief answered, what our parents said and what they felt was completely different from what we feel and what we think. We just need to end this cycle, so please just show us the way. When the God and devil heard this, they said, okay, then what you want will be fulfilled. The way to end this life of death cycle is when one person of this village will find a way to stay human rather than converting into angel or demon. The person who will know what true nature of a human is, a true human. After this, the village started to find that one person who would change their lives forever. Chapter 2. When this story of the village was found out by a 17-year-old boy named Schwaz, he was thrilled to go to the village and see for himself that what was the true reason behind all of this and to reveal the truth behind this village. But when he was reading all of this in a book, his friends said to him that you don't even know where your village is and you say that you want to reveal the truth behind this village. Schwaz said that what can I do? My parents just never took me to my village. Neither do I know where it is. When one of his friends asked that, did you ever meet your relatives? Schwaz said, yeah, I have seen them in video call and we do talk to them, but I just don't know why they don't take me to the village." After some time, when everyone left for their house, Schwaz also went home thinking about his village. When he reached his house, his parents were talking to his grandpa. When Schwaz joined in, his grandpa said that, "You should come to our village this time." Schwaz was in a shock as he never knew anything about his village, and suddenly his grandpa invites him to visit. Schwaz immediately said that I will come, and his parents said it's fixed then. But after Schwaz went, his parents talked something with his grandpa very seriously. Then came the long-awaited time. When Schwaz arrived at the village, he saw that everyone was acting like they see Schwaz as a different person, and when Schwaz asked about this to his parents, they said that you never came to hear, so they probably will take time to process this and accept you. But Schwaz found a thing that was very unusual. On his second day at the village, he saw some people at night, wearing black coat and going somewhere. He thought that probably they are drug addicts or something, and went to sleep. The next morning he found some people wearing white coat and going the exact opposite way, where the black people were going. The next day when he was sightseeing the village, he saw some travelers asking the way to an old village. Schwaz overheard the name of the village. It was the same name as the village that Schwaz read the story of. He was in a shock, but he thought that hearing the way could help him go to the village, and maybe he can uncover the story and rumors about the village. The villagers said that this is the village. The name you know now is the name given by the government, but the village name you said is the original name. Schwaz was somehow terrified, and he started to remember all the incidents that he saw in the village last night and the morning. While he was thinking about it, he saw that the villagers welcomed them inside the village and took them to a house for welcoming. After seeing this and hearing the truth, when Schwaz turned back to return home, an old man was staring at him. Schwaz was surprised, and then he asked, "That what do you want? Why are you staring at me?" The old man said, "Near the lake when you are afraid, not for play, but to ask the questions that you doubt and saved." The old man went away, Schwaz said. "What an abnormal village. At the least I found the village that I always wanted to see." At the night while he was going to his room, and again, he saw the black coat people going somewhere. Schwaz felt like following them, but his feet were unable to move. When he tried harder, he heard his father saying, "Don't try so hard. Leave it as it is and go to sleep." While he saw his father, Schwaz was very shocked because his father wore the same black coat and was saying some words that were understandable to him. At the same moment his mother came to him and said to his father that, "You are getting late, darling, just go now." And his father went away. The moment his father turned back and gone, Schwaz was able to move. When he asked his mother about all of this, she said, "You will get to know everything," and said, "Tomorrow is your birthday, right? Come on, go sleep and get ready for tomorrow." Schwaz was all confused, but while he was sleeping in his bed, he saw two shadows in his room. When he tried to ask who they were, they both disappeared. Schwaz got into sleep. When he woke up the next day, he saw his parents standing in front of him wearing a black and white coat. They wished him and said to him, "That follow us." They both took him to his grandpa, where he was doing some kind of ritual, and said that from today onwards, you have a whole year to choose who you want to be. And said, "May you get choose by who you want to worship," and said him happy birthday, son. When he left the place, he saw the cut head of those people who he saw while asking the way to the village and the other side. He saw the soul of the people crying. When he again saw towards the other side, he saw money, gold, and many other things. But when he turned to other side, he saw flowers, his crush and family. He saw many other things at both of the sides. At last he saw an angel and a demon coming to his side and saying, "Whatever you saw now can be yours. If you choose our side, so what to choose Schwaz?" Schwaz was so confused and scared that he went on running towards the lake in his village. When he calmed down, he saw that where he came to and remembered the old man's words, Schwaz called out to the old man and said, "What is all this? Where are you, old man? Come out." When he turned around, he saw the old man standing next to him. When he asked, "What do you want to know?" Schwaz. Schwaz was actually shocked and asked first things. First, how do you know my name, and what the hell is wrong with this village?" The old man said that if you want to know about what is going on, you have to first know the story of the village. Schwaz interrupted, and said that I know the story of the village. The old man said, "Oh, really?" Schwaz said all the story that he knew about the village and said the story that he had read. After listening to it, the old man said, "It seems that you are already getting set up by the devil." Schwaz asked, "What do you mean, old man?" The old man said it is totally different from what you think. The story you know is diverted from truth. Chapter 3. The old man started to say the true story of the village. Actually, the village was cursed, and it had the devil and God come and say all the thing that he had read, but what we think is different from what we can see, and what we see is totally different from what the truth is. The God and devil which appeared in the village were not real. This village was not always full of worshippers. Before a lot of years, there was a man who was desperate to get control over all the gods and devils, so he tried to find a way so that he can get what he desired. After the failed tries of that person, the god and devil came to the village and said that if you keep on trying to do these foolish things, you will have to pay a very big amount of lives. Even after the warning, that person didn't come to his senses and kept on trying to achieve his proclaimed dream. After seeing that he was not getting to his senses, the god and devil came back and cursed the village that turned half of the villagers to demons and half to angels. But seeing this, when some people tried to get back to their original form, they died. Many years passed, and a lot of people died as well, but after some years of the person's death who started all this mess, another person who became the village chief and said that he will turn everyone back to normal, was the reincarnation of the same person who started all this mess, and he also had all his memories of his past life. He tried to get them both take away the curse, but they didn't, and said a way, so that they could get free from the curse. That person was waiting for them to say the way to get out of the curse, because the person who would be a true human and has the true nature will be the strongest person, and he would have the strength of the first person created by the gods and devils themselves. From that power, he could take all the god and devil's powers from them, because it was known that the gods and devil's first creation was actually a creation on its own that had the power to counter them both at once. The old man said that the person tried a lot, but couldn't find a person who was worthy so that he could kill the true human and get the powers for himself. But after getting tired of trying to look for the person, he made a deal with the devil and said that he can give the powers of the true human to the devil in replacement of the world. So the devil agreed and made a contract with him. But when he thought that he had the devil's strength and he should just go and fight the god, his body was teared apart, and many insects, worms, and devils started to eat his whole body with his soul. The devil then came out and said that this guy was a good pawn. Now that I have a body, I just have to make a trap and wait for the true human to arrive. This human really was a pain, but I can use his body to give him some honor. After listening to the whole story, Schwaz said, "Shouldn't we find the person who will become the true human and save him?" The old man said, "Yes, we should." Schwaz said, "Do you know anything about the true human or any clue so that we can find him?" The old man said, "I have found him already." Schwaz said, "Okay, then let's go and save him before it's too late." The old man said, "We don't have to go to anywhere. This lake can show the true human because this lake was made by the true human. So only hers reflection can be seen in this lake, and no one else." When Schwaz and the old man saw at the lake, Schwaz couldn't see the reflection of the old man, but he could only see his own reflection. When Schwaz asked about this to the old man, he just smiled and said, "Sometimes who look our closest are our enemies." After saying this, the old man turned to a person who Schwaz idolized the most. The man said, "So you wanted to see the god in this form? I guess everyone has their own perspective of me," and started to evaporate, saying, "Please save me and this earth. Go the cave and win the battle." After saying this, he disappeared, and Schwaz was left unspoken. He thought of how he had the god beside him and didn't even notice. After some time of thinking and wandering around looking for the cave that the god said to him, But when he got tired and sat down for a bit thinking that, what at all this stuff, and why am I so eager to search for the cave? The angel and the demon both came to him and asked, "Which one do you want to worship?" Schwas said, "I need time to think," and both of them disappeared when this happened. Schwas started to look around again. After walking for some time, he saw his grandpa walking in the forest. Schwas hurried to his grandpa and asked if he knew anything about the cave. His grandpa said, "There is the cave of hope." When Schwas went to the place where the cave was and went inside, he saw a crystal that was placed on top the statue that actually looked a lot like his future version. When he went near to the statue, he saw images and life stories of many people, and he saw everything that a human has done throughout his life. When he was about to touch the crystal, he saw his father coming towards him, having a knife in his hand and wearing a black coat. Schwas immediately understood that his father is the one who was possessed by the devil. After seeing this, his father said that, "Please, son, don't touch it, and come down to me." Schwas didn't listen to his father, knowing that the devil was trying to manipulate him. His father ran in order to kill him, but his grandpa grabbed him and said, "Go, son." Schwas touched the crystal. The angel and demon assigned to him came forth and asked him, "What do you choose?" Schwas remembered everything that he had gone through until that point and said, "A true human is the one who is not either black or white, but who is either both or colorless. If you can give me both, or can you leave me, which one would you choose?" All the spirits trapped in the cave were happy, cheered for him as the true human, and joined into him. After some time, he saw that his father was crying in front of him. Schwas said, "Give up, devil, you cannot win now." But his father replied, "You fool, just why did you do it?" And after that, he noticed that why did his grandpa stopped him from attacking Schwas, and what was he doing in the jungle? His father said that I was supposed to stop any person who tries to become the true human, so that the devil cannot do anything to the world, but my own son. When Schwas was about to give a reply to his father, he was stabbed by his back. When he turned around, he saw that his grandpa was standing behind him and said, "Now I can become the one and only supreme." Schwas fell and died. The power which came out of the body of Schwas and was going towards the devil. Schwas' father was so angry that he tried to kill the devil, but was no match. The power was moving towards the devil, but suddenly it reversed, and Schwas raised back on his feet. The devil alone with half of his power was no match to the power of the true human, and was destroyed. The whole village was freed from the curse, and after long centuries, the people of the village were free from the cycle of death. The time went as it is, and after seeing this, the god was laughing at the devil and said, "What happened to the plan of yours?" The devil said, "Stop laughing like a waste piece trash, and see how much progress did the other villages do, and then go to the next universe. Humans cannot be influenced by a god and devil unless she feels like it. A human is full of bad and good things. It is never one or the another in the case of a human. It is always what you do in the situation. Whether you do good or bad makes you an angel or demon.